Hello, everybody. We're getting started soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to our video game show.
Welcome to our video game show. I lost Discord. It was on my computer. It turned out it was hiding behind shit on my teleprompter here, or the Elgato prompter, and I forgot that could be a monitor. I had it set to like it has like a mode where you can just read text, and I didn't have it set to monitor mode, which apparently that's where Discord decided to hide on me.
You're smart.
Well, I restarted my computer before I figured it out, so no, actually, very stupid. That's okay.
I was trying to,
Yeah, but don't do that.
throw your bones.
How dare
or
you?
How dare I try to help?
Exactly. Now you're getting it. Okay, there's that. This is going to be a certain level, and now it's going to be the right level for you guys, but not the chat.
Right levels.
You guys hear me?
Wait, you guys probably didn't hear it at all.
No.
No, sir.
Hey, you guys hear
There it
me?
is.
Start cheering
Yeah.
now.
All right, now it's the appropriate level for chat. Mike, looks like your audio here, based on the
Test.
last sample, is good.
Good. Mike Minotti is here.
And I'm here, and I'm there. Okay, Mike, I'm going to count you in and start the show. What's that, Christian?
It's
Anything we should know?
Now just do the show and see something happens. I'll let you know.
Okay. You ready, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, we're going in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
We are the last of the Nintendogs today, and a Nintendo Direct happening sooner than you think. Dragon Quest 1 plus 2 is coming to Switch 2, and some people already have Switch 2s, but they're worthless. They do nothing. Nothing. Good day, sir.
The Switches, they do nothing.
that's a Simpsons reference. Dude, I was doing Willy Wonka, but you made it Simpsons. That's
I
funny.
did Simpsons. Simpsons better than Willy Wonka. I love Willy Wonka, but Simpsons is better.
Well, yeah. Although I won't give Family Guy much, but their Willy Wonka parody episode was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's true.
When the fake Oompa Loompa sung a song about how Joe couldn't go anymore because it wasn't like ADA accessible.
Right, yeah, they didn't have the correct accessibility. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what do you do when you're stuck in a chair, finding it hard to go up and down stairs?
God,
That
line is in my head.
Of the one you call God is in his absence slightly odd. It was pretty.
That was peak Family Guy right there.
That's like season 1, 2, 3 stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
there,
definitely on Adult Swim a million times when I was still young.
How's it going, Jeff?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. Busy, like we have been for the last several weeks, but I'm feeling pretty good. Things are sort of making sense here and there. There's still a lot of outstanding questions left to be answered for our entire lives, but like slowly every day we answer a little bit more, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's you know what? I bet once we get on the other side of Summer Game Fest, everything will really start to click into place, because it's like that is such a distraction at this point. Like, I want to do it. It's a good distraction in a lot of ways, but it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So yeah, but I mean, a full plate is not bad. I'm happy to be this kind of busy.
Absolutely. Do you want to tell everybody what job you designated for me at the show?
Yeah, he's going to be a bouncer, everybody. He's going to have wristbands, and he's going to make sure that people... The thing is, we're doing a slightly different thing. So, we don't have access to a fandom office, so our venue's a little bit different than normal. We got to kind of keep things pretty, like, on even keel. We got to keep things pretty fair in regards to the place that we're at. And so we are putting the dog on the hunt, and that is Mike Minotti himself. He's going to make sure people stay in line.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, like, how many important games media people I'm going to tussle with over the evening.
I hope
you're not on the
all
list.
of them.
Who brought you? They brought you. They already brought them, so I don't think they brought you too. What are you doing here?
You should just big time everyone, even if they are on the list. You should just get their asses.
If I see a Greg Miller, I'm just going to do it anyways. I'm going to pretend like they're not on the list.
Greg Miller. I'm like putting the schedule together. I'm like, I think I got everybody. Completely forgot I talked to. Like, Greg's the first person I talked to. Shit. All right. Well, I'll fix that.
There you go.
That's where I'm at, Mike. Though, to answer your question, I'm just thinking a lot about making sure I get a lot of cool people to come hang out with us.
Yeah, yep. I'm like trying to be like keep that in mind, but then there's also is a summer game fest. I'm like, oh, do I have enough appointments? Should I be doing more? Why are they doing it also on Sunday? Is anyone going on Sunday? Because I'm flying home on Sunday. Do I need to be there on Sunday? Do I need to come earlier on Monday? I don't want to because my Switch. So I'm figuring things out.
I mean,
I think I'm good.
It goes through Monday, Mike. That's the thing. It's like they're having Playday stuff on
That's what it is.
Monday. Yeah.
I think that's what I meant. Like it's going till Monday. I'm like, what the hell is that about?
Yeah. It's I mean, I'm not going on Monday, but whatever. It's there for people who probably traveled internationally, right? Is this thing really going to be worth it if it's only a couple days? Like, kind of justify it a little bit easier.
And I keep looking at my Walmart Switch 2 pre-order because some people have said that theirs have been getting canceled. Mine is still okay right now. I'm looking at it right now. I'm still all right there. So at this point, I hope I'm okay. But that's not. Well, you got a chocolate chip cookie there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Steph made me a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
It's very good.
I had a chocolate chip cookie yesterday. Actually, it was my first one in a long time, and it was like objectively good. And I still find it exhausting because I don't like chocolate that much.
That's a shame. I love chocolate chip cookies. That's like my favorite thing. So, I think
I would like a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate part. What would that be called? Is that just a sugar cookie?
Is that just cookie? Yeah.
Why don't people make more cookies?
This is a chocolate chip cookie. This is cookie. I could see it. Sugar cookies are a little bit different, right? They have a different thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. They're not as good as when I get a bite of a chocolate chip cookie without chocolate chip. I'm like, that's fantastic. It's kind of like has this toasty flavor to it.
Yeah.
But a sugar cookie is a different thing. What's going on here?
I don't know. I think what's going on is if you ask for a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips, you would be shot. People would be very mad at you. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah, they make other chips though, like the one with the peanut butter chips are good. One with So like snickerdoodles are good, but they also do make like cinnamon chips. If you make a cookie with the cinnamon chips, that's very nice. That's good too.
I like an oatmeal raisin. I'll have a raisin. Oh wait, you're not gonna like the raisins, but
I mean, I know. I'd almost rather have one than a chocolate chip, but I don't love raisins.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Dried fruits again is like we could talk about dried fruit.
Okay, we can have an adult conversation about dried fruit. We
can talk about raisins. It's not like Bruno.
It has rid itself of the disgusting juices. And so it's trying to make itself appealing to you. Like it's doing a lot of work. You're going to meet it in the middle.
Doing everything it can. Jeff, I say a lot of things that are sometimes controversial. I should have known that shit talking Drive was the one that was going to get some.
Oh, you get a lot for that? Yeah. Mike, I was letting you cook because I'm like, I watched that movie and I was like, that was entertaining. I do get the vibes. I'm good. Like I did not fall in love with it or anything.
I'm going to say nothing else about it except that I think I don't regret any of my words.
I'll help you out. I'll help you out. I'll go back to my old one here that gets people mad. I don't like John Wick all that much.
Oh, right. That's wild. That's
there you go. Yeah. No, they'll come for me.
Yeah. Somebody in chat said the Nintendo announced a new Nintendo 64 NSO features. What would that even mean? Not games, new NSO features.
What like does it support the microphone now? You can do Hey You Pikachu?
3 new features are coming to Nintendo 64, available to expansion on June 5th. Customizable controls. They're finally getting rewind for the 64 games and the CRT screen filter. Okay, now rewind and CRT are only Switch 2, but change controls is Switch 1. I'm glad the change control things. I think I've whined about that before for other games. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, N64 is
on every on there, but every SNES and like GBA game. For some reason, they're like, oh, obviously the default shoulder buttons are the bumpers and not the triggers.
Oh, right. Like, no, you're right about this, by the way.
So I have to like change it on a system level every time with those games, and then like it's hard to jump back and forth between that and other games. So I'm glad we're getting that. Okay, well that's a nice little thing here. I've got some other Nintendo news and topics to talk about, Jeff, if you would like.
I would love to do that. It's new for this show.
Alrighty. So, Jeff, there's some scuttlebutt about Nintendo Direct happening kind of soon, maybe just a little bit after the Switch 2 launch or around there, maybe a little bit afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard anything or if you're thinking anything here.
No, I haven't heard anything. It's not, again, it's been very busy, so I've not been like pounding pavement to go get details like this. Some stuff's come across like my desk, and I talked about that with like the PlayStation State of Play stuff. But as far as Direct goes, I have not reached out or heard anything one way or the other. So I'm happy to like just kind of discuss these rumors as they're being laid out. I've been camp. There will be a June Direct for a while now. So when I hear this, I'm like, yeah, that lines up with what I've already chosen to believe. So I'm very much ready to buy into all of this. I think the timing is going to be a little tricky, or I'll be curious to see how Nintendo does the timing here. Do they do it right that week, right after SGF happened, and as the Switch 2 is launching? I think that probably could work, but I think they might want to also give themselves a little bit of time. Especially since Switch 2 is going to be everywhere in that first week. You kind of don't need a Direct. Now, does Nintendo respond to what it needs? It kind of just does things the way it wants to do them, whatever's most convenient for it, and it all works out in the end for Nintendo. They make a lot of money. So, yeah, I'll just be kind of curious to see how this plays out in terms of timing. And then in terms of content, God, it could be anything. Like, there's been several games that we've talked about that, like, that Fire Emblem game, the rumored Mario baseball game, all this stuff that could just like pop up in here. Or it could be like any of the other directs where we've talked about these games before and they still don't show up. And it could be a whole other crop of releases. I bet that this direct is the kind of thing that happens when you have a bunch of partners who wanted to be in that first direct real bad. You could only get so many of them in there. And the ones that you did get in there are the ones that like made special versions of Switch 2 games or made a special version of their game for the Switch 2, I should say. Mm-hmm. And now there's going to be another tier in this direct where it's like, these are big partners. They aren't necessarily going to make a bespoke version like Hitman Signature Edition or whatever they're calling it. But we still want to like have them show up and like promote the fact that they're on the Switch 2. So we'll put them in this next direct. I think a lot of that will happen. What are you thinking?
Yeah, there are some things that could be talked about here. Games that need to be expanded upon. We've seen a good bit of Donkey Kong Bonanza, but they're gonna want to promote that
of course
more. We haven't seen much of things like Kirby Air Riders or Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment.
Date for Metroid Prime 4, yeah.
That's the big thing, right? The date, if they do a direct, and unless it's like strictly a Donkey Kong direct, which could happen, right? Could be a Metroid Prime direct, but I can't imagine we don't get that date for Metroid Prime 4. And then, like,
God, I hope so.
From there, I hope we finally do hear about Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 3, maybe, or even if it is Donkey Kong. If it was just a Donkey Kong direct, at least then maybe we do get Donkey Kong 64 on NSO. That gets announced as part of it. So yeah, there are things. I think people who think that we're still going to get like a new 3D Mario game this fall.
And there are people who believe that. I'm like,
yeah, I'm shocked how many people believe it. But, there's a lot of people who are really convinced that who are telling themselves that it wasn't that team making that Donkey Kong game for all. There's a lot of people that want that very badly. Trust me, I do too.
Right,
I have it in Fantasy Critic.
That's
right. I had the first pick and I picked that, but it's not happening. It's not happening. I wish it was. No, they're making that Donkey Kong game, and yeah, other people are helping them. That game may have been done early, which would mean we don't have to wait 8 years for the next game. Not that we don't have to wait more than 5 months for it.
Right, exactly. Hey, I'll be happy not to wait 8 years. I will take that at this point. Yeah, I think you're right. You laid down a lot of the stuff that Nintendo needs to talk about. There's chances for other games to get announced. We'll see. I'll be happy if they're just like, here's like the other crop of GameCube games that are going to come to Switch 2 in the next month. And, there's the 3 at launch, but I think they also already somehow teased or accidentally confirmed.
Yeah, they teased like a bunch of other ones.
They teased a bunch of other ones, yeah, but I think Strikers was like already showing up in the code or whatever for people that were, that's right. Wow. It was in the Nintendo Switch Online app on Switch 2 when people were testing the Switch 2. At events, and Strikers was like the 4th game there, so I bet that launches pretty quickly after the thing.
Remember they were testing the Game Boy Advance NSO with freaking Astro Boy. We still never got that one. So
that's
what the
true.
heck?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that there's more than enough to talk about here. I would definitely be happy to see some more GameCube games teased and dropped here, just NSO stuff in general, but. God, they can even talk about more NSO or Nintendo Switch 2 upgrades to games, right? Like maybe there is a Mario Odyssey Switch 2 edition. We know that's getting it, like it's going to just run better on Switch in some ways, Switch 2, but maybe some more of those things. Pikmin 4, Luigi's Mansion 3, Switch 2 editions. I don't know. But yeah, I don't doubt that they could, you know, scrounge around and get a direct ready if they wanted to. And,
sure.
There's going to be a lot of hype and excitement. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Then, like, you've successfully launched the thing. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what the rest of the year is going to be, even if it's reiterating a lot of things we already know. That's enough for a direct at this point with a new system when everyone's so excited.
All right, next up here, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake have been announced for Switch 2. It's launching everywhere, including Switch 1, on October 30th. They dropped the release date for this. Seems like a bunch of people got to attend a preview event, so our peers have played this thing. This is the 1 and 2. For people who don't know, those games take place after 3. That's kind of why chronologically this still makes some sense. These are also both shorter games than 3, so bundling them together like this is neat. I'm very excited, Jeff. First off, I never actually played 1 and 2 at all.
Right.
Anyway, so it'll be my first time with both of these. And Dragon Quest 1 is, I'm sure there's people out there who will explain why maybe something else technically is correct, but it's the first JRPG. It really is. It's the game that really got the ball rolling there. It's the game that kind of established so many of the norms of that genre. So I'm very excited to play that. And I'm excited we are getting a native Switch 2 version. I didn't play Dragon Quest 3 HD2D on the original Switch. It ran at like 30 frames per second on there, even though it's just an HD2D game. And that's not the genre where that matters the most, I know.
But it matters.
But I was like, heck, yeah, but it's like, yeah, I could just play it on my ROG Ally and get 60 frames per second. I will just do that then. So I assume this is going to run 60 frames per second. I assume that's why you even do this. So I'm glad we're getting that Switch 2 version. Although some people are, upset that it's a game key card. And it is weird because apparently the Switch 1 version looks like it's not. It's just an actual game card, not a key card. But Nintendo, like all that stuff about how they basically just offered maybe people the biggest game card or the game key card, that must be true because so many people are opting for this game key card thing.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's keeping all of the smaller sizes for itself early on. That's what I think is happening there. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D sure seems like it must, or did I say Dragon Quest 2? Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D sure seems like it must have done pretty well to have like a follow-up like this. And I don't mean the game. Obviously, we knew the game was coming. But the fact that they had an event to have press come out to play this specifically, that doesn't feel like an afterthought. This feels like Square Enix being like, we had a lot of success with 3. We should follow that up with 1 and 2 and just like really push that. This, do you think this is something that Square Enix will try to keep doing with Dragon Quest going forward for as long as they can? Obviously, they're going to reach a point where these HD 2D remakes don't make sense. But do they just remake all the Dragon Quest games slowly over time?
Yeah, so at least as of like December 5th, 2024, so not that long after launch, it had already sold 2 million copies.
Okay.
Right. And, of course, I bet a lot of that is Japan because the series is very popular.
Sure,
It
yeah.
did pretty well everywhere, and I bet it has kept selling since then. So, yeah, it did do well for sure. And I think this one won't do quite as well.
Sure.
3 is sort of a big deal. But people like 4 a lot. 4 is also pretty well liked, and that would be the one after this. So 4 is also an 8-bit game, so relatively easy to do. But even the 16-bit ones, they aren't that different. And
Right.
5 is another super beloved one. I don't see why you wouldn't at least get to 5. That's the one with the monster kind of capturing party member stuff that inspired Pokemon. It's 5 is great. It's one of my favorite ones in there. And then 6, at that point, you may as well do 6, even though 6 isn't super beloved, right? Like a 5
Right,
or a 3 is, or even a 4. May as well do 6. I don't know if you do. When you get to 7 and 8, maybe you just think of ways of porting those 3DS versions that you made. But then 9, maybe even do 9 before 7 and 8, because 9 has never been ported outside of its original console, the DS. So I think people would be very excited. When 9's great.
Yeah,
Sentinels of the Starry
really
Sky is actually one of the best subtitles I've ever heard.
It's really good, yeah.
That's great. So I bet we get 4 and 5 in the HD 2D style for sure, and probably 6 at that point. And then they'll do something else with 8 or 7, 8, and 9. And 9 specifically. They'll figure out a way to finally bring 9 to more consoles. And there's also that like offline version of 10 that they're making. So that's going to drop at some point as well. Also, I wonder about Dragon Quest 11 because that's a great game, maybe the best in the series, but we did not. On Switch 1, it wasn't 60 frames per second, things like that. I haven't heard anything about, inherent Switch 2 improvements or native Switch 2 version.
The one thing there is like they did make a version specifically for the Switch. That was the S version, and then that like later got ported to other stuff. So maybe the fact that exists might encourage them to go back and unlock things if that's what's required. But I wouldn't assume things are just going to naturally see an improvement. So yeah, it might require their attention.
And at some point here, Dragon Quest 12, they're going to start talking about that and showing that again in a meaningful way. So, but it still feels like it's a ways off. So yeah, keep giving us these older Dragon Quest games, keep remastering them. It's always exciting. Dragon Quest is great. So I'm always happy to have more of it and to kind of make it accessible to a new wave of players.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. It's my show. Next. People have Switch 2s right now, Jeff. Aren't you jealous? Don't you get you mad that they have it and you don't?
Yeah, someone should do something and stop them from playing it until I can play it.
Well, don't worry. They can't play it until you play it. They don't work. They don't work unless they install a day one patch. Yeah, like they must obviously turn on because they're gonna have to install the day one patch.
Right? Yeah, it's not like you're gonna get a USB stick that like activates them.
Right, you gotta update the BIOS.
Right. Yeah, that's strange, right? I've never heard of this working this way before with the console.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I have to go back to this. Redblock pointed out that actually they can't do 9, and I forgot about that. It's for Dragon Quest. That's a big shame.
Why can't they?
Why?
Why can't they do 9 for Dragon Quest? Why is that a shame?
It's 7, 8, 9.
The fucking guy! I knew what you were gonna say the second you started saying it. It didn't hit me till then. It didn't. God damn it!
That's pretty good, Redblock. Thank you. So some people do have Switch 2s, which, like, of course that's going to happen. These are just at stores now. It's wild to think about. Jeff, we're only doing one more episode of this show before the Switch 2 launches. It's happening.
Crazy, actually. That's a good point.
Right.
Will I be around for next week? I'm not sure. We might have to figure that out.
Third?
Yeah.
The 3rd?
Yeah, I might be busy on the 3rd. We'll see. I'll let you know. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Then we come back that next Monday, so we should be good to do like the
we'll be good for the week after that.
Yeah. So that's the other weird thing about SGF, Jeff. Is like trying to plan that, blah blah. Part of me is like, my bandwidth for the excitement of Switch 2 is almost being put to the side for a little bit because I'm worried more about SGF and all this stuff. And I, obviously that's great. There's a part of me that would want to focus a little bit more on this whole Switch 2 thing that I'm very excited about.
We're gonna be busy, but I'm gonna be forcing you guys to sit down and play while we record something.
Yeah, absolutely. There's even like, I was thinking like, yeah, I know I said maybe I'm not going to play like Bravely Default HD. Maybe I should get a code so I could do a quick look of it anyway so I could show people why I think that game is cool.
SGF is going to be goofy. It's going to be You're not going to be able to walk 10 feet without 4 to 5 nerds fucking sitting in a corner with all their Switch 2s out, all playing Mario Kart at the same time when they could be seeing new video games. And I'm going to be like, hell yeah, that rules. I love that you're doing that. I want to be the one doing that. Yeah, it's going to be a weird time.
That's how we're going to keep the party from to too rowdy. Is just tell everybody to play Switch 2 in the corner.
It's a good idea. Yeah, that's where we could just put Switch 2 in front of them and we'll be all right.
There you go. We Switch 2's out there. This is all happening very soon. They can't play it yet, so nothing. Don't worry about seeing Mario Kart World spoilers. I suppose probably can't download the GameCube app or anything like that. How much prep work do I have to do, by the way, to like transfer stuff from my Switch 1 to my Switch 2?
Yeah, don't know.
Because like I'm all like, yeah, I'm getting my Switch 2 early and then my flight's later. Is this going to be like a 5-hour transfer thing and I'm not going to be able to finish it?
It shouldn't, like, they haven't said anything about transfer, right? What do you think would transfer? Because I'm like trying to figure out how that would work.
I guess not. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I hope it is just because like with the Switch 1s, it was like, well, you have like your one main Switch 1 thing, but here I'm allowed to have a Switch 1 and a Switch 2. So yeah, hopefully it just all that really matters is uploading save data for stuff, and then it looks at my account and knows I have games that I can download them onto it.
Right.
So hopefully I guess it's not much.
Okay.
Yeah, Fireheart gave me links and I didn't look at them. Sorry, Fireheart.
Okay, so yeah, just the save or just the saves that don't work in the cloud if you don't have cloud saves. Okay. Yeah, my guess here is that I probably should have my Switch 1 with me just in case, but I'm probably not going to need it to actually like play the games I'm going to want to play in that first week while I'm busy with the Switch 2.
I just got my like full credentials for SGF. Also, good to have that. At
Yeah,
least.
mine came earlier today. So yep, that's good that I started that email, and I'm like, I will refer to you here in like next week this time, basically.
All right, Jeff, that's it for our kind of a big topic arena. So I also saw that they updated that list of backward compatibility supported games. It looks like more games are being kind of added to working with just a few issues, especially in that third-party space. So, they're plugging away at that.
Yeah.
Good news there.
Mostly it's just kind of what they're saying, according to Nintendo, and, we'll get independent verification for all of their claims here next week. But for now, they're saying that everything's pretty much working without issue, and when there are issues, there's just some small things here or there. But the vast majority of things they're testing are just going to work, which is good news for this emulated backward compatibility, although other systems have made similar claims, and then most of the games end up working on those as well. So I expect that to be the case.
All right, why don't we take a quick break? We got some super chats. We've got a mailbag today. Also, by the way, happy birthday to one Turbo Sean.
Happy birthday, Turbo Sean!
Yeah.
Birthday to you.
About
We can't
that?
sing that song. We're gonna get.
No, we get we have it's in the
Alright.
public domain now. We're good.
Oh,
all right.
So but that's too bad because I liked when the restaurants had to all come up with their own version, right?
Yep.
Like
I agree.
happy birthday, birthday. You are older now. Like that stuff. Like yeah, that's funny. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Gonna get a drink
All
real
right.
quick. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right, let's see. Oh no, my flip floppies, my flippy floppies. All right, there they go.
All right.
All right.
You ever watch the movie Serenity with Matthew McConaughey?
I have, yeah. Yeah, Dan Reichert made me watch it one time, like a couple of years ago.
Oh, you watch it with we watched it together. So, because I watch it with him.
I don't know.
That
I don't think I
movie
watched
sucks
it in his thing. It was in some Discord group, and he's like, everyone should watch Serenity, and then I went to go watch it. It was like when he first watched
He
it.
didn't. He didn't. Oh my god, that's insane. He's been showing Serenity to multiple people multiple times. That's a fucking criminal behavior
it's
right
just,
there.
No,
right.
we liked Serenity actually. Serenity wasn't bad.
It's just
Serenity
very
was interesting.
It's just very weird.
It is
It's
very weird. And I think
Places
it's
that
fun.
are surprising in a very stupid way.
Mm-hmm. All right, hang on. I got to send Peepo back home.
A tuna named Justice. Justice the tuna.
Justice the Tuna? What?
That's the name of Serenity.
Oh, I don't remember any of the proper nouns from that movie. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
There's
I think
a
it was.
tuna
That's right,
named
justice. Right, and it's like also they're seeking justice against the person. So.
Yeah, Peepo was mowing in the dark. Yeah, he started when the sun was going down, and I wanted him to just finish a patch. And now it's apparently going to start storming, so I'm sending him back home because it's dark and stormy, and he doesn't deserve that.
No, we gotta
you
protect
pay him extra hours after dark, or is it?
What's that?
Do you pay him extra hours after dark, or is it a regular rate?
Oh, he's a robot. I don't pay him at all.
What?
I gotta grab some. I'll be right
Wow.
back.
Oh shit!
Oh, people is like revolutionary.
Why don't we change things up and just sit here in silence till he's back?
Hi, doggy.
Hi, Sean.
Oh, Sean! Happy birthday, Sean!
Happy birthday, Sean.
Oh, thank you.
She's talking about you.
Yeah, we wish you a happy birthday while you're
I
gone.
know I've been lurking.
Oh, good.
All right, I'm ready.
Happy birthday. Sean's here. So say happy birthday.
Happy
to him.
Wow.
birthday, Sean.
Thanks, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Thanks, chat.
All right.
You just came through. We were talking so much during that break. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that was wild.
Did anyone
it
call
was
Sean an
wild.
old bitch yet? Yeah, you're old
No,
now.
wow.
We got
old
him.
bitch.
Woo!
Don't worry. I
Oh.
mean, Lexi has at least 3 times a day, so.
Thank you,
You deserve
Lexi.
it. All right, let's do this shit. Bring it back, Mike.
Alrighty, we're back, Jeff. Please read the super chats.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't ready for this, but you know what? I should have been. This is only my fault. Okay, there they are. Here we go. From Slain McAwesome. Let's have a big celebration for our birthday boy. Can you all please sing happy birthday to Sean? He deserves it. Now,
I don't. I really don't.
this is going to sound terrible because we're all going to be out of sync, but I'm going to tell people to deal with it, all right? Here we go.
Why don't we do it double time at least, though?
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sean. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
I tried to just keep on time
right.
with you, Mike, and that's what people should hear, right? I think. Maybe not.
I did deserve that specifically, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yep. Big Fresh 37. Don't sleep on Linked. Banner of the Spark. It's Hades plus Animal Crossing. What the fuck? With co-op, and it effing rules so far. Spielberg's kid directed it. Oh, yeah, that's the Linked from Benny Spielberg. I can't remember his name. Marvin Spielberg, maybe. I've seen this game. Yeah, it's a Marvin. It looks cute and good. I just didn't really know what it played like, and I still don't after you said Hades plus Animal Crossing. But I'll check this out.
Linked Banner of the Spark?
Yeah, Linked with a Y.
Oh, that's why I'm trying to hear.
Yeah. And then
What do you mean with a Y? Oh, okay. L-Y?
yes, sorry.
Okay.
I was gonna clarify because I'm like, that doesn't actually make sense when I just say it like that.
There it is. Okay. So yeah, I couldn't find it on NSO. I was just looking for a normal link. Okay. Interesting looking. Neat.
Oh, I see the connection here. MinMax promoted it a bunch because it was made by Max Spielberg. That's collusion, everybody. This is why you can't trust video game journalists.
Max agenda.
Neldy says, my dogs. Ninty hasn't shown much, so how difficult do you think game chat will be? Can I send invites on the fly, or will friends need to be in a lobby to see me hosting a group? Yeah, I like the specifics of how these things are going to work are still a question. And it's like, oh yeah, they're showing it just kind of working flawlessly. So I have not actually considered the questions of what's it actually going to take to get people into one of these rooms. You assume it would be easy because, we've had decades now of companies creating messaging programs. So Nintendo could learn from that, except for they never learn ever until they do something. So yeah, what are you expecting?
Yeah, I'm setting my expectations very low for everything involving game chat. Right? I mean, the frame rate that they showed us was terrible. Imagine what it's actually gonna be like. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how much of that actually gets used by me.
Yeah, again, like I've said before, my kids will use it. Again, Emmy tonight was phone in one hand, Switch in the other, playing Minecraft with her cousin in Michigan. So, simplifying that would be great, but we'll see if we actually get to that point. Let's see. Joe Beezer says, how about them cats, Jeff? That's right. I'm a Florida Panthers fan. There's dozens of us. Panthers are pretty good. I was definitely thinking the Canes could do it this year because their defense looked really good. And then the Florida Panthers happened. So that's how it goes sometimes. Just another Jeff says, Mike, I missed the world when there was still Natalie Portman left in it, Minotti, and Jeff Gone Vertical Grubb. Tired, Halo with chips. Wired, Halo with thips. I'm glad I said it that way because they're going for the rhyme there, but that's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. They finished Much Love Dogs, Peepo Nips.
Man, what happened to Natalie Portman? They've always made me laugh. That's right.
That's right. Oh my! I was like, what? That name sounds familiar. I forgot. That was an early Super Chatter or what?
It was a Super Chatter. Yeah, or member or somebody in the Discord. Some of them come and go. I get it, and but I do stay up at night sometimes wondering about the Natalie Portmans.
What was the name of the angry Xbox guy?
Oh, Xbot Killer.
Was he a PlayStation guy? Yeah, Xbot Killer. Okay,
I can never remember. He hated. Yeah, sorry. He was a PlayStation guy, and it was funny because we mostly got hate. Yeah, no, that's right. We got hate from the PlayStation people. They thought we were all pro Xbox,
right? Because I had some Xbox.
Then there was another guy who's just named George, I think, who thought we were way too hard on Xbox.
Right.
He would get upset at us too.
Shout outs to George if you're still listening.
Hang on. It was George Foreman who did that. We have a George in the community who's a cool person. George Foreman was specifically very abrasive.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's right.
Epic Open World says, Mike, incredible story about your grandpa surviving a war crime. I don't think it was appreciated because your co-host couldn't get past the dog part.
Yeah, I can't. There was a little sensory overload happening to all those. Too much
Mike knew what he was
lore in one
doing.
episode.
He knew what he was doing. He was just I'm just gonna say so many things to flood the zone.
Yeah, nobody cared about the part where my great grandmother was a famous Italian opera singer.
You're right. I didn't even hear that part.
Yeah, you didn't even notice
You
that.
didn't even
part,
notice
right?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're too busy about the dog and the barber thing.
Yeah, well, the barber thing's pretty good too. Ally Miracle leaked Switch 2's parrying in games discourse, the Minotti Dark Family secrets, and it's only Tuesday. Peepo penis.
Yeah. Gosh, parrying in games discourse, it had to happen. I'm glad we're doing that instead of like weapon durability. I guess it's great. I mean, I'm very much on team. Actually, so far, parrying has only improved video games.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I'm sorry, everyone, but no, I'm pretty happy about it so far.
Remember when parrying was in Metroid and how much that ruled? Like that was put it in everything.
Yeah, they put parrying in Metroid. It was great. They put it in Doom, and it's good. And now it's in JRPGs, and it's fantastic. So I'm sorry. Like I just don't know where it's not gonna work.
Yeah, if it's like okay, maybe no. I think it would be awesome in Tetris. Actually, I think parrying in Tetris would actually rule.
Imagine like parrying in a hockey game, even right?
Oh yeah,
probably something like
there's probably something
like
equivalent to that.
hockey.
Yeah, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
Last Leg says Switch 2 will be my first Nintendo console since the GameCube. I already got Odyssey, 3D World, and Pikmin 4. I got $120 left over. What 2 games do I get?
I mean, maybe Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, that's $130.
Well, if they still do those the dual coupon thing, you can get both for $100. So, but you have to go get that thing. So
yeah, maybe you didn't say Metroid Dread or Metroid Prime Remastered, so maybe Dread. Luigi's Mansion 3 is actually very good, so that's worth doing for sure. You definitely got a lot of the heavy hitters right there, what you mentioned. But gosh, yeah, I would maybe say. I mean, yeah, it probably should just be the 2 Zelda games. But if it's not those for some reason, maybe Dread, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, the thing with the Zelda games is they're going to get a big upgrade, so it'd be really good to play them. I would at least get Breath of the Wild, and then I would get Metroid Prime, and then. Once you play through some Breath of the Wild, then later get Tears of the Kingdom. That'd be a great way to do it. Jordan says, any good memories of playing a game for the first or 1,000th on, maybe there's supposed to be say time there, for the first or 1,000th on NSO. Missed Paper Mario growing up. Tried it out recently. Now enjoying a good little RPG.
I've played tons of NSO, honestly. I do so much NSO. I love having this excuse to go back to these games and playing a lot of games for the first time. Playing so many Game Boy games specifically for the first time because they're on NSO. That's great. I think my favorite first time playing a game experience on NSO has been Earthbound, which is a game I started so much, but finally played through all of it on NSO, and now I absolutely adore it. I love it. I have that Starman shirt coming in from the Yeti that you told me about, so I'm now very pro Earthbound these days. Every time I replay Super Metroid, it's special for 1,000th time. I think on NSO was the first time I played it and got the best ending, right? Because I think I just played through it and I'm like, okay, now while this is actually all fresh in my mind, I'm just going to play it again. And it was still just fantastic and fun. It's relatively easy to get that time limit that way, and it was very satisfying. So that like there's some random like Genesis games I never played that much until NSO, like Alicia Dragoon. I'm like, what the heck is that? Or E-SWAT. I'm like, oh, this stuff's really fun actually too. I'm glad they added that on here.
All right, let's see here, David.
What about you?
I mean, you named it like a bunch of the ones that I would have played for 1,000 times. Super Metroid, Link to the Past is one that I could play every year.
Did do another Link to the Past playthrough.
I mean,
for sure.
Every time I pick up the Switch and I'm just in the mood to play something, but I can't think of something, I do find myself on the N64, just bouncing around between all those games, Excitebike and whatever. And then the stuff I've tried for the first time, there's a couple of them, but nothing. I've not had the time to play it the way that you have. Earthbound on NSO sounds like a great experience.
It was.
David Arline says, for the love of God, my kids are starting to say this whenever they want something from me now. For the love of God. It's crazy. I don't know what's happening there.
You have to explain to them that you're an atheist family.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, this is not going to help you here. This is this an appeal to nothing. For the love of God, someone else in the Discord play 100-line Last Defense Academy. This does feel like one that I think in another year, when things weren't kind of like, this one had a couple of games bounce up all around it in like every direction. Like before it was Blueprints. During it was Expedition 33 and Oblivion. And now it feels like it's time for Summer Game Fest. No time to look back. Any chance that you get into a game like 100-line defense? I was trying to remember what it's called.
This is the Danganronpa thing.
Yes, and people love it.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a character from this game, and I see her sharing around.
Yeah, I agree.
And it makes me feel like Dan Riker. When I look at this character, I'm like, I just don't know. Yes, it's like what Tsundere. Tsundere on steroids is the vibe I get from it, and I'm like, I don't know.
Stop using words you don't understand the meaning of, please.
All right. Well, I'm just saying it's the vibe that I get. Jeff, is that not the vibe you get?
It's definitely the vibe I get. That means they'll rip your stuff off, right? Tsundere, is that right, Christian?
Nope.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep. Thank you.
I was about to say I'll play it, but there's too many games and it looks cool.
It's a lot of games.
So once everything slows down, I'll go back to it and I'll play it for sure.
Just Another Jeff says, jokes aside, Kunitsugami Quick Look. If you're worried about it falling through the cracks, even post SGF would be worthwhile, I think. Tell you what, I will pick a handful of Switch 2 games to do a quick looks for, and we'll pick some that are older like that. And we'll maybe have time for Kunitsugami. Maybe that'll be really depend on how busy we are.
Yeah.
At the very least, we'll do a very long stream for the Switch 2 where we play as many games as we can, and Kunitsugami will definitely find its way into there.
I would love to see Street Fighter 6.
We're definitely going to do Street Fighter 6. Yes.
Yeah, it would be neat. It would be kind of neat to do a quick look for that because we did miss it, and I think the entire industry kind of feels bad for Kunitsugami, right?
Because it's a good, interesting game. Yeah,
it's a good, interesting game that just it's not that it wasn't interesting enough, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to give it quite a bit of time to really work, and the people that did loved it. So I don't blame anyone for bouncing off or not really giving it a chance. Two Bear says GB idea. Use the coffee money as a prize for a monthly competition between the 5 owners. Call it the Kofi Cup, or the Coffee Cup.
It went too much.
I am a fan of this as long as I get to pick the game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. There we go. That's a high score challenge. That's it. None of this finding the bullshit shit.
No, that's not. No, that's right. I was great at the scavenger hunt.
I had to specify. No playing games to find stuff. That's Mike's territory.
Nothing but high score. Wow. Yeah. Oh, you sound like you sound as bad as the Fox only Final Destination no items Smash Brothers players.
Well, if money's on the line, what would you rather do? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Fox only Final Destination?
Absolutely. Although Fox was never my character, because Chris, my brother, played as him a lot, so I was like, well, that's his character. I have to be Sheik or somebody else, right?
Yeah. No, that's the company's money. That's our business now. So, but we will find other ways to do competitions and even put some skin in the game. Maybe not money, but we'll make it fun. All right, let's see here. That one guy says, who else is in brick mode for the Switch 2 next week? I agree with what Mike said, that I've had to push shit to the side because we're planning so many other things. But at some point next week, I'm going to have a Switch 2 in my hands. That's crazy when I just say that.
It's wild. It's 9 days. It's 9 days away. It's practically here. Whew, can't wait. I can't wait to go to Best Buy for the midnight launch thing there and try to get one there. Even if I don't, I know I got the Walmart one coming. I will be I hope it comes very early in the morning so I don't do this thing that's well, I got to leave for the airport now if I want to make it there, 2 hours before my flight. How much longer am I going to wait and risk things? I don't want to play that game. I can't play that game. So it better just show because I will be miserable if I leave for LA without my Switch 2. That will kill me.
I would hate that too. Real quick before I read the next one. Did you see the other stuff going around about the other discourse for the Switch 2, which is the Switch 2's box for retail looks too similar to the Nintendo Switch box, and this will cause problems because people will get the wrong thing. Have you seen this? And not us, the people listening to this podcast. The claim is the general audience might be easily confused and not see the big 2 or not recognize the other one doesn't have the big 2 on it. The boxes do look similar. I agree with that.
I'll be honest. I'll tell you what, they look similar. I mean, who knows how much of a problem it'll be. I am surprised they do look as similar as they do now that I'm looking at them.
Now, here's the thing. When you go to buy one of these from the store, because that's the only time this would ever be an issue, right? You have to actually go to a store. I suppose maybe you're on Amazon and you're looking at the listing and you see Switch, and I guess that could happen. But if you go to the store, you have to talk to somebody, right, to get a console these days. You have to say, hey, I'm here to get a Nintendo Switch 2. Can you get it out of the case for me?
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, someone in the chat said iPhone boxes have all looked about the same for a while now, right? Like,
yeah,
it's a big purchase. I hope people are slightly careful about it.
Sure.
But, I get it. Some people are going to do it. Some people are going to get the wrong thing and they're going to return it and maybe wait a little bit longer than normal to get a Switch 2. But, we'll all survive.
Yep, exactly. All right, let's see here. From EP Idiot Box. What games are for sure being carried over from your Switch 1 library to be continued to be played on your Switch 2? For me, it's Into the Breach. That's a good one right there. For me, it'll be Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, which I will finish on the Switch 2. That'll be a
there you go.
Good way to see that through. How about you, Mike?
I've beaten Doom 1 and plus 2, so part of me kind of does just want to start Lunar, even though I'm probably going to take a break to play all these Switch 2 games. Maybe I'll start that and carry it over to my Switch 2. Marvel fighting game, or Capcom fighting game collection 2. Still want to play that, so that one is going over for sure. Otherwise, there's nothing like big I'm in the middle of.
Sure.
I guess I didn't play, like, part of me wants to maybe play some more Xenoblade Chronicles X remastered. Is that getting some kind of boost? I would hope so.
I don't think they said anything about any of the Xenoblade games yet. I wonder if that's the kind of thing that pops up in this direct, because the Xenoblade games feel like Nintendo thinks they're big enough to deserve something like that. So we'll see.
I mean, there's games that like are getting these upgrades that I'm going to do, like the Zeldas, and then Kirby's going to get that expansion. I'll check that out.
All right, let's see here from.
I wonder if I'll give Pokemon Scarlet another chance if it actually gets like improved.
I bet a lot of people will actually. Yeah. From Drummond J108, watching live tonight. Hey, thanks for watching and testing out my new retro handheld device. Very cool. What should I play tonight? I fuck with you, duders. Well, we fuck with you too, Drummond J. What do you think, Mike? What should he be playing?
Axelay. No, don't play Axelay. That'd be Foxanadu. No, don't play Foxanadu. God, I'm blanking on the name for some reason, but I was
Xevious? Okay.
ActRaiser is still a cool game. I bet you'll have fun if you play ActRaiser for the Super Nintendo.
What was the first one you said? Axelay. Okay, Axelay, Foxanadu, and Xevious all occupy the same part of my brain, where it's like, that's a weird name with a X in it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's more of them too. Foxanadu is the one that really gets stuck in my head, though, for sure.
That's the one with the cover. That's the one with the cover art.
With the old man?
Old man and the banjo or whatever.
That Foxanadu? I think no, that's Phalanx.
That's Phalanx. Yeah, there's another one.
Boy, I can't believe I can pull Phalanx out of my. I've never been more surprised that I was able to pluck a name out of my brain than for Phalanx, the game with that old guy with the banjo on the cover.
Yep. That was impressive. All right, let's keep going here. From L. Grug, Mike needs a fake police badge and a uniform then. I believe this is referencing the fact that you are going to be the muscle at GB at night.
I told you about the one time I was at a bar just kind of wearing black, and I was mistaken for a bouncer for like a second until the guy got a bit closer. He's like, oh, no, never mind.
Well, now you can change history. You can correct that error.
Now, let me tell you, I do have some anxiety about the chef just because I'm not the best with names sometimes. So I'm terrified someone's going to come in. I'll be like, oh, are you on the list? They're like, Mike, it's me. We've met 20 times.
Here's the thing, Mike. You're going to have Nikki there. And Nikki's going to help. And anytime that anything like that happens, you just tell Nikki, and Nikki will take care of it. That's how Nikki works. So, yep.
Love you, Nikki.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very excited to get Nikki looped in on all of this, so we could just have a little bit of that backbone there and be like, all right, we're good now. All right. Ricky B says, does Mike side with the bad guy in the first John Wick, given his family history?
Guys, I am anti-killing dogs. I don't know how many times I need to say this.
It feels like you're gonna have to keep saying it, because the fact that you do need to keep saying it speaks to some fundamental issue here, Mike.
Look, I mean, nobody wants to hear me say this, and I don't want to make it too big of a point here, because they should not have. But it was a different time. And some people were like, that's not good enough. But it was. Especially people who were living on farms and stuff, like my grandpa was. If they didn't like a dog, what do you think they did? You think they took it to the shelter in the
Right.
70s?
Yeah, it was just.
What do you think they did, everybody? It sucks. I agree. They shouldn't have done it.
That's
what they were
we're
doing.
way better to our pets now, and I use the word better because it's actually better, but it was a different time. Raimi Vincent says, guys, Doom 1 and 2, my favorite way to play is to start each level from scratch, pistol start, and beat them on ultra violence with a single life each.
God.
Each level is like an adrenaline puzzle. Very fun. Raimi, that's I think that explains a lot about your profession right there. The fact that you're
that sounds fun. What I did was I played on the normal difficulty and quick saved and quick load, so I never died and lost my weapon. So quite the opposite. Quite the opposite.
I might try this for one level and just see how it goes, but there's no way I'm doing that for both one and two.
In Doom 1, when you start like one of the new episodes, it does start you back from scratch. And I don't hate that. It's kind of fun, like, you know, because otherwise you never use the pistol, because as soon as you get a shotgun, you're just using that. Because like the shotgun in Doom isn't like shotguns in a lot of other games. It still works pretty well at long ranges.
Super Blastex says, we're going to get Bowser's Fury Expandalone, but with Odyssey. That sounds like a holiday 2025 release to me. Okay. I mean, I don't want, why would people work themselves in, like, bend themselves into this? It's like, what kind of a Mario game could we get if we're going to get one this year? And then have to imagine a smaller version of Mario again. First of all, I don't think they would do that 2 Marios in a row.
No. It's a Mario game. And it's going to come out, and it'll come out maybe sooner. Again, it'll come out sooner than the worst case scenario of like, oh no, it took that team 8 years to make the game after Mario Odyssey. It's going to take 8 years after Donkey Kong. It won't. But we're not. I would love it if we got that, because I'll maybe call up the people at Fantasy Critic and tell them this should count. This should count. But I don't know. I don't see it happening. I mean, even like the Zelda games aren't getting new content, like expansion content. It's really only Kirby, and there's something else that was getting like an actual expansion, new content thing when it's coming to the Switch 2 version.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. Mario Party.
Mario Party, that's it. Thank you. Mario. So it's like Mario Party Kirby. I don't think they're going to do that with Mario. They're just going to make a new Mario game.
Yep. Quincy Hernan says, can't watch live tonight since I'm hanging out with the kiddo. Just wanted to say penis.
Penis.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're not making the kid listen. But thank you, Quincy. I appreciate it. From Keanu Reeves. Shit. Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay. I'm coming for you, Jeff. You're not breathtaking.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. I like you, Keanu, quite a bit. I'm just not a fan of the John Wick. Well, I've only seen 1 and half of 2. I think they probably get better. I just haven't seen those ones.
Jesus Christ.
See, I'm safe. I don't think Ryan Gosling even knows how to use the internet.
Yeah, he doesn't want to learn how to, and I don't blame him. RT Bick says, penis, too soon for an update on that NSO playtest? No, it's not too soon. That thing could pop up at any point. I always
forget about that, too.
Yes.
That's something I could talk about.
Right, and that's, like, just as a reminder, that's the weird thing that happened last year on the Switch. I played it. I was in there. It's kind of like this weird Minecraft MMO sort of thing. It has a fully, like, completed soundtrack ready to go. So it's a game they've just made, and it's just kind of sitting there for them to figure out what they're going to do with it. So, yeah, maybe they have figured that out, and we'll get it here at this Direct. From Ricky B, Jan plays KOTOR Win, JoToR Summer. I would love that. I
would like that. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that I've been thinking about like, I should just pick a day of the week and kind of do what you're going to do with Myst. And I think I'm going to do Chrono Trigger. I think that's what I'm leaning.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd only take, that'd be great. I'd love God, I got to think of a name there. Yeah, I would love to watch you play Chrono. That'd be like almost my first round draft pick for you. And I would love to see Jan play KOTOR.
Yeah, me
actually.
Too. I love KOTOR.
Yeah. KOTOR 1 is such a good game. Plus, it is nice when it is all voice acted. Because we don't have to sit here and I don't want to do the reading dialogue thing. I kind of don't play games on my stream sometimes. Even it's gonna be kind of like that.
Sure.
Like my friend Pandoish plays a lot of JRPGs, and God bless her, she's just playing all these retro JRPGs and reading every bit of the text and dialogue. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Is that people prefer that though, right? They prefer.
I think they do, so that's why I just don't do it. I
right?
guess.
No, I get it. Yeah, I'm with you. Chrono Trigger, I'd have to read, but I think that's one that since it's not going to be super long, it's not like I'm committing myself to something insane there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. James MD14 says the next 2 weeks are so fucking hype for me. Elden Ring, Switch 2, SGF, the couch. Let's go. Can't wait to watch the coverage, guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. God, I should make a few more appointments since on Sunday I will have a chance to do that.
Just tag along on mine if you want.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that for a couple. There's a handful of games that I'm like, I want to see that. What the hell's going on here? Like, that's where I'm at with a handful of the games I'm hearing about at SGF or that we've agreed to embargoes about. So yeah, there's going to be some fun stuff worth covering, worth talking about, and we'll do some fun things from LA. Okay, let's see here. Hindu says, let's try to scroll down a little bit, and it went all the way to the bottom. There we go. Hindu said, finally ordered my wedding suit in Pooh Brown. PNS. Hey, good for you.
I mean, brown's a good suit color. I wouldn't evoke poop as much at the wedding, though.
You invoke what it's your wedding. You do what you got to do. It's you're allowed to look however you want to look. Nacho Eclair says, have you all seen a game called Backseat Drivers? It looks perfect for UPF. One player's on the wheel but can't see the road. The others give instructions. All right, we'll play this. I like this.
Yeah, that planned release. It only has a 2025 planned release date, so it's not out yet.
Okay.
There's a demo, or it just says free test drive right now, so it's like a test or something for it. Okay, interesting, neat. Yeah, that looks like it was made to be a UPF game for sure.
There's that. The McElroys do this thing, and I think they do it remotely. I need to look into this. I think it might be a feature for the Switch, where they each control a different part of the controller in like a remote play session. So one person is doing the buttons, the one person's doing the left and right movement, or one person's doing jump, one person's doing attack, one person's doing the movement, and they like play through games like Donkey Kong Country. I'm like, I want to try something like that at some point. I need to look into how they do that. All right, this next one, let's see here from Nacho Eclair is back. Also, please give this to Sean. Happy B-Day, Turbo Sean. Now, I'll do this. But Sean, don't you have like a Venmo or a PayPal or a coffee yourself or something? Is he still there? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I'm Turbo Sean on Venmo.
Yeah, everybody, birthday Venmo. There you go. Start the train.
Oh boy.
Choo choo. All right, from Pixels and Thoughts, and that's THOUGHTS. I hope your birthday is boner-tastic, Sean. Sean, is your birthday boner-tastic? You have to answer the question.
Say something.
That's one way of putting it.
He's 30 now. That doesn't work anymore. James MD14 says, also dog killing story sponsored by Magic the Gathering was perfect.
I'm still confused. Did Jen ever bring up that we were revealing cards before like we went live?
Yeah, he did. He mentioned it. Yeah.
Man, I missed that.
You did.
Missed that somehow.
You had a Magic sponsorship? Holy shit.
It was a small thing. It was not that big a deal.
I agree, Christian. I was like, oh my God, we're revealing Final Fantasy Magic cards. What? I know. And they're like, okay, so we'll do this
hold on.
there.
You guys revealed cards?
Yeah.
I know.
That's insane.
What the fuck?
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is happening? And I was like going vertical, and somehow my dog, because of Rufus and his dog. That's why. And I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe this is happening. And everyone's kind of
like, you talked about killing dogs before that?
No. Like during it.
During it.
It was
Rufus has the dog, and I said that you don't pet that dog, you shoot it.
It was Giant Bomb presents new cards from Magic the Gathering and Final Fantasy presented to you by Dead Dogs. That's what it was. Go listen to the Bombcast, everybody.
My God.
I'm gonna listen to that Bombcast.
I was so excited. They were cool looking. I can't wait for that set. It's gonna be awesome.
James, we already did this one. Prinny Dude, I think Nintendo fans need to check their expectations when it comes to Xbox porting games. I don't think they go back further than 2015 games, if that, in my opinion, or package games like Master Chief Collection or Rare Replay. Yeah, Rare Replay is probably not going to happen because it's got weird emulating, like it just works with the Xbox emulator, so it doesn't make sense.
There's just so many things I'm like, why not? Like Mass Effect Legendary Edition, right?
I mean, that Gears of War 1 remake or remaster, whatever it is, that could go to the Switch too. I could see that happening.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess Mass Effect isn't a Microsoft thing, but you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Just do it all. Just do it all. Come on.
All right. Let's see. Rapid Fire 187 says, Jeff, Thanks for talking about Andor so much. Oh boy, I want to talk about it so much more than I do. Oh man, you have no idea how much I'm holding myself back. I've been so disillusioned with modern Star Wars stuff, I never would have watched it, but it's truly great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm at a point when, excuse me, I'm at a point now where if no one else ever watches it again or ever enjoys it again, I'm fine. It was perfect for me, but it sure does make it that much better that so many people are going to watch it and enjoying it just as much as I did. So I'm glad to hear that. Thomas K. Hey, Jeff Grubb. Hey, Jeff, grab her by the... this is why I have this button. Hey, Jeff Grubb, grab her by the... And Mike McNaughty, why do you think about the Ocarina of Time remake, or what do you think about the Ocarina of Time remake rumors / YouTubery? I haven't followed
How much traction... Has it been rumors or has it been wishful thinking? I guess I haven't seen too much of that.
Yeah, that's where I think it's wishful thinking, but maybe I've missed something.
I guess it's been a bit since that 3DS remake, oddly enough. That was a 3DS launch game. So, at some point in the next 10 years or something, they probably are going to try to find a way to repackage, remaster. And at this point, maybe you remake that. What does that look like? It's Ocarina of Time. Look, if they are able to remake / remaster The Last of Us Part 1 twice, surely we can do that for the Ocarina of Time. I don't know. I don't feel like this is some imminent thing. And I'm not saying it would, like, there'd be a backlash if they did this before they just give us Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD. But it'd be weird if they did that before that, but they could. It's Nintendo.
I kind of wish they would do like an HD 3D equivalent for N64 games, where it's like, just really go to town with remastering it and maybe even adding a little zhuzh on top or whatever to make it stand out visually. I don't know if I need them to do a full Unreal Engine remake of Ocarina of Time. I don't know.
It's then I don't know, because for me, it's a game where I kind of mostly want a one-to-one remake. I do not want like the Resident Evil remake treatment on Ocarina of Time necessarily, but I don't know what other people want. I'm not sure. I think they could take those a 3D visuals from the N64 and mess them up and then do that to Majora's Mask as well and make it even creepier and spookier. There's something there for me, but you're right. I just don't need them to try to recreate that game from scratch, because what's the point if I just wanted it to be that game again? Do you think they'd bother? You think they would just spruce up the 3DS version a little bit, or would that not be enough for them?
At this point, it might not be enough, but I think it'd still take that as the foundation, and I think do a lot on top of that. Then maybe, I don't know. I will be curious how they approach this if they ever actually go this route, which I think is kind of inevitable at some point.
At some point, they're going to remaster / remake Ocarina of Time again, for sure.
Woke Gabba.
What a good question for such a horrible start of the question, isn't it? What a good question.
Oh, I forgot that even happened. Yeah. No, that was great. I love you, Thomas K. Woke Gabagool Boy says, can't believe Giant Bomb stole our penis. And then, PENIS, and then penis in parentheses there. Parentheses penis. Yeah, look, if people want to give us money over at Giant Bomb and Super Chats, and they want to scream penis, I'm not going to stop them.
I'm not going to stop them. Yeah.
Symbiosis says, there's never been a better time to pony up and keep the good things around in life. Support Game Mess, support Giant Bomb, watch Andor. Let's make Knights of the Ochoa Republic happen. That's pretty good. And happy B-Day, Sean. Thank you so much, Symbiosis.
Do you think Jan knows about the twist in KOTOR?
I don't know. He watched all of Rebels and all of Clone Wars, so he's definitely been on Wikipedia before. And here's one thing about Wikipedia. You cannot look up a single thing about Knights of the Old Republic. Every single page about Knights of the Old Republic for a weapon, a minor character, basically spoils Knights of the Old Republic. Just right there. It's important to know that. And so there's a good chance he's aware. Willow Davis says, new Giant Bomb content, and we still get Game Mess. We're truly getting the best of both worlds, like that Hannah Montana song or a Fudanari. Yippee!
Jesus Christ!
Do we? What are we gonna do about our super chatters? Do we need to do anything?
Giving us money.
Yeah,
I think that one. I was concerned about that one than the grab her by the blank one.
No, I know. It's clearly individually that was great. I'm still a fan of that. I want more of it, everybody. But in context with them all back to back, all bunched together, is this show becoming a thing? Is it becoming a sex show?
I think it
No,
You don't think-
no,
yeah, I
it's
don't
not
think-
a sex show.
Okay, no, I'm not, I can't tell.
Okay.
I'm the one reading the super chats. I'm too
Well, I'll
close.
say a sex show is something very different.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I've never
it's-
been to
it's-
one,
yeah.
Sean. I'm not old enough yet, so.
It's it's becoming a problem, but it's not a problem yet. It might become a problem.
Yeah, okay.
For now, it's a tendency. Just to say that.
You know what? You're right, Christian. You just keep an eye on it. I trust your instincts here. You just let us know if we're starting to get over that line.
Maybe everybody. Let's say we're at a 7 right now. Maybe let's try a 6. for a
Okay, I
little
like it.
bit.
Yeah.
Let's try
Elgrug's-
a 6.
Yeah, just to dial back one notch. I love all these notches. Just one notch. Elgrug says, remember when Jeff said he hates grilled food and smoking meat and Mike was going to fix him? Or is Jeff not invited to the cookout anymore? Peens. I didn't say
I don't
that.
know.
That's not, I like the food.
That's what you said.
I didn't say I didn't like grilled
You said
food.
it's not special.
I just said
you
like,
don't get it.
yeah, you know, like you can make food that tastes just as good in your kitchen as well, is what I said. But that doesn't mean like, if there's a cookout happening, I'm gonna be there. Well, look, a smoker's very different. I didn't say a smoker. I was completely putting to the side. I was just saying the grill.
Sure. You don't believe in that. You don't believe in the kiss of the dragon, the charcoal flavor.
Yes.
You think that's a myth.
I think it's overstated. Yes.
Yeah. Man. See, he already hurt me so much with Italian food. Everybody, that, like, he's just going after the 2 kinds of food I like the most, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful.
I love barbecue too. So like I think this is not me saying anything about the actual quality of the food, and when other people make it, that's great. For me though, I don't get excited to go outside and grill. I'll use the kitchen I already have. That's where I'm at. That's the difference.
fine.
When I was at Disney, I had barbecue like once a day.
I'll tell you what, I had a ton of barbecue in Florida. That's like so much of the theme parks, like big thing in the last 10 years is making the quick service restaurants not shit anymore.
Yeah. Well,
So a lot of them that were
mostly all
just
good,
generic burger. Yeah. A lot of the like old generic burger places do something more interesting. And that one in Epcot that was like basic burger bitch in the America section is now Sam Eagle from the Muppets themed
Yes.
barbecue, and it's fantastic.
And we had already had barbecue earlier that day when I went there, and I was like, shit, I would love to eat here too, but we just had barbecue, so.
Yeah, and there's that new Toy Story barbecue place, and obviously it's great. And then Epic Universe has a barbecue restaurant that's also fantastic. So
Is that,
you know,
is that like
it's
is
pretty
that
good
you,
barbecue.
excuse me, is that Universal's like first good restaurant? Like that's where they've been struggling, right?
So in general, yes, they have a few. Couple good ones in City Walk, a couple fun ones in the park. They have one called Mythos in Islands of Adventure that people like. But in general, I think, especially, yeah, just in general, all around, the food in Epic Universe is very good, and it's a pretty big glow up from what they've done in their other parks. For
That's
sure.
good to hear. All right, last super chat for now from Ricky B. Jeff hates barbecue confirmed.
Wow.
Just not true. All right, Mike, back to you.
All right, let's take a break. We got a mailbag to get to as well, so we'll be right back, everybody.
Yay.
Break.
Gonna take Penny out. I'll be right back.
All right.
Gotta take that dog out.
Was Starman.net that old Earthbound fan site? I think so. Let me see.
No idea what are you talking about.
It just used to be like a really active like fan site for Earthbound.
That sounds right.
that would, like-
Isn't that where like things got kickstarted for Tomatoes translation?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm on there now, and yes, this looks right. I think they like made like a book once and stuff. They're serious over there.
Sure.
Mother 2 novel translation. Is there a book? This is password protected. What the hell? All right, you know what? I'm getting out of here. This is old internet.
Old internet from the dark ages back in the day.
All right, let's see here. I grilled salmon and sausages today. That's honestly, I think that's spoken against in Leviticus in the Bible. You're not supposed to grill two meats.
Yeah,
next
you
to
can
each
mix
other.
up. Yeah. Sorry, you're gonna go to
Yep.
hell or
Hell, yeah.
Your neighbors
Yeah.
are gonna have to stone you to death. Yeah, just watch out.
yeah, it's messed up.
Allie, my birthday dinner was taco pizza from the local place.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Our local place, the lore is, I don't know how accurate it is, the lore is that they're the place that invented taco pizza. It is very good. They use like refried beans for the base and everything.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
God, there's that chicken and waffle pizza that is at that place near my house, and I haven't had it in a while. It might be time. It might be time again. They also do like a lo mein pizza, and that's not as good. Definitely go with the chicken and waffle pizza.
Lo mein pizza. That's wild.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, it wasn't bad. It just was a lot. Okay. Don't know if you saw it earlier, but the macros are just using Parsec for the remote play stuff. Okay. Well, I have that.
Won't you forget about me?
I think one of the ideas I do want to do for Giant Bomb is,
Don't you?
just like set up something on the Parsec computer. Don't tell the rest of the team what we're doing, and then just go and do it, and like have it be like something silly like that. So I'm gonna take advantage of that more frequently. Maybe that'll be the first way we could test that out. That'd be good. All right, Mike. I'm ready to get back in the show whenever you are.
All right,
Let's go.
let's do it.
And we're back. All right, boy. There's a mailman, and he skipped our house again, probably because you keep attacking him. But the only solution I see is to attack him again and get our letters. Go, go! What tiny hands you have. All right, thank you, boy. Good job, good job. All righty. First one here is from Stinky. He says, hey, Mitch, check out Ari Bookto in the Anytime Elevator. Advertises a game made by a former Disney rides designer. There's a demo, and it's coming out later this year. Ari Bookto in the Anytime Elevator. Let's steam this baby up. It's there's a demo right now. It's coming out of Q3. Is this just like a 3D platformer? This looks pretty cool.
That's cool.
Story rich, it says. A ride designer. That's not a 3D platformer. There's like a grappling gun or something. I'm not sure. Looks neat though. Looks neat. So let's take a look at that. Thank you. All right. Next up is from Jim, who says, "Hey yo, dogs. With this generation consoles being competent but generally unmemorable, do you think Switch 2 can buck this trend? I'm hoping the bigger and better screen, alongside fancy new features under the hood, should make it stand out even before all the new software comes our way." I mean, but we're going to get a lot of think pieces, Jeff. It's already happened, talking about how the Switch 2 is boring and safe, right? Like, Nintendo's not crazy like it used to, which, they're not always like that. A lot of people still associate Nintendo with that Switch DS era, and I get it. But I think the Switch 2 is going to be good. For a lot of reasons, the Switch 1 was really good, is because there's just a ton of very good software on it. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, that's, for me, part of the big problem with the Xbox and PlayStation is that we don't get as much software on it as we used to. And all that stuff is just on PC in a lot of ways anyway, so it doesn't necessarily feel as special. It's a good thing it's on PC, but it does hurt those consoles a little bit for me.
Yeah, I don't think Switch 2 will be fated to end up having the same feeling about it as this generation for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. But it'll be closer to that than the Switch is. Like, the Switch did feel fresh and new, and the Switch 2 will have, these think pieces lobbied against it. But I think we'll probably get to a point where a big new Pokemon comes out, a big new Zelda comes out, a big new Mario comes out, and people just are like, nope, this is a new Nintendo console because I'm getting all the games I recognize, and a new Animal Crossing is here, and that's what I bought this thing for, so I'm getting what I expected, and people will not have that conversation for very long after that point.
Sriracha Chili says, "My dear boys, I don't know if this is an appropriate question for the mailbag, but where's Mina the Hollower? Sure would like it as a great new indie game to play on the Switch 2. Yeah, where is Mina the Hollower? I haven't heard about that in a hot moment.
I just invited Celia B to be on the couch for Summer Game Fest. I will ask her myself. We'll get an answer, everybody. We'll see.
I don't want Mina the Hollower to become the next Hollow Knight Silk Song once that game finally comes out.
I mean, that game has such a strong sort of idea behind it, which like Link's Awakening, but you play as a little mouse or whatever that can burrow under the ground, and when you come out of the ground, you pop out with like this force, so you can like clear gaps and stuff like that. It feels really good when I played it. There was like a demo as well that I played. I played it twice, and it was really good both times. And it's like all they have to do is just build awesome levels and puzzles around these mechanics, and I bet that's the hardest part. So they're probably spending quite some time like really perfecting those levels, and I hope they get there because they have something special on their hands otherwise.
Jamie H1224 says, "Close your eyes and picture it. The June Direct happens, and there's another NSO console coming. It's the Dreamcast, where the first 3 games coming to the system." If it's the Dreamcast,
Soul Calibur 1, yeah.
Soul Calibur 1, Sonic Adventure 1, And I don't know why Dynamite Cop was the next one that popped into my head. There's probably other things you should go to first.
Yeah, Blue Stinger,
of
course.
Well, give me Blue Stinger, Shenmue, Cannon Spike. Give me Cannon Spike. What would actually be the number 3 one? It could be Shenmue. I don't know.
Shenmue's one that you save for later.
There's just some weird ones that it's a little bit more difficult, like Samba de Amigo or Phantasy Star Online. I don't know if you can just put those. They'll do Choo Choo Rocket right away.
Oh, sure, yeah, that'd be a good one actually. Can you do that like with the Nintendo Switch fake multiplayer where it's local multiplayer, but you're doing over the thing? Could you Choo Choo Rocket had local multiplayer, right? So that would be good for that.
I think so. Yeah, I think it had local also. I mean, it was definitely a poster child for the online stuff. I think it had local.
Yep. Okay. I would take that.
Always Be Clothing says, I was influenced by Mike playing Mega Man on Main Street and got a little retro handheld gaming device. What is one of your nostalgic games you would put on a device like this? Aside from Mega Man, I think I would like to do DuckTales. I think playing through DuckTales, that's a pretty breezy thing that'd be fun to do. And theme park appropriate. How about you, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I like to just take those things and not do much to them and just see what games are on there and see if there's anything that strikes my fancy. That's what happened with Mother 3 on that most recent GBA one. But yeah, I usually install a lot of Game Boy Advance games. So like the Golden Suns and things that I'm like, oh, if I have plenty of time, I can actually play this when I'm just doing other stuff and keep this in my pocket. I never end up actually playing them. But you know what? The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Game Boy Advance games. That's where I like to play those games, is on these little Chinese handhelds. So those.
It's fun. Badger says, if all 5 of the GB crew are Pikmin, what color Pikmin would each of you be? Go ahead, Jeff. I'm going to leave this one to you, Jeff.
Well, Jen obviously can't be the poison Pikmin.
No.
Why not? Because it's white. All right. There you go, everybody. Okay, I think that Dan would be the yellow Pikmin. I don't know. I'm just imagining the yellow Pikmin drowning in water, and it looks just like Dan Riken for some reason.
Sure.
Okay. Bacalar would be Bacalar would be the blue Pikmin. Jan would be the red Pikmin because he's filled with rage. Mike Minotti, you'd be the rock Pikmin, and okay. I would be I'll be the purple Pikmin. I'll be the fat one.
The fat purple one.
Yeah.
You can say I'm the fairy one. It's okay.
You do have, of course. You flutter around like the fairy Pikmin for sure.
Steve says, "Will we get a Soul Calibur 2 UPF?" Almost certainly. Almost certainly. I want to play so much Soul Calibur 2. You won't believe it. That game is so freaking good.
So, let's say we get back on Monday-ish, and then we have the Bombcast on Tuesday. God, if we wanted to do an all-day stream of Switch 2 stuff, it probably would have to just be on Friday.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just turn that whole Friday into a big Switch 2 day.
Yeah, we'll stream Switch 2 all day one of those days that week.
Screaming Matt says, hello, Jeff, newfound Guitaro Man fan Grubb, and Mike, newfound Portal Runner fan Minotti. Man, I was at the Retro Game Store kind of hoping they would have Portal Runner, and I did not see it. I was disappointed. Random question, but what is your favorite magazine ad for a Nintendo game? Mine might be one for Wario World where it says, hang in with the bling bling king. Look it up.
I have mine. I think this was for the GameCube version, right? Because before that it was an arcade game. Or was Ikaruga on Dreamcast first?
Ikaruga was on Dreamcast first, but I think in Europe. I don't think it even was on in US on Dreamcast.
All right, well then I got my favorite magazine ad for the GameCube hung on my wall. Just give me a second.
Yeah, that one's pretty freaking good looking. Mine, while he gets that, is the Earthbound one where it says this game stinks. All right, go ahead, Jeff.
That's good. Yeah, so it's the Ikaruga ad. And it's got the IGN quote: "Our frothing demand for this game increases," and that's on my wall.
Good quote.
Yep.
It's a really, 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 really good quote.
Right.
I would love to just actually look through a bunch of them and get a better version. Because it's hard to immediately recall these things in my brain.
For sure.
Was kind of just the one that I did. All right, next up is from Joyzy, who says, hey, Mike, hey, Jeff, can you let Mike know the 3DS of Majora's Mask is not the definitive way to play the game, and that is actually much worse than the N64 version in a number of key ways. Thanks. I guess I'd like to hear this.
Yeah,
but,
I would want these listed out.
Because, like, I'm sure there's something, I don't know. Is it because it makes the game too easy, or is there something else? Because I really like, one, that the game looks better, and two, that you have some quality of life stuff with the whole rewinding and whatnot. So I don't know. All I'm going to say is that I never got too far in the N64 version, and the 3DS version I played through all the way and really liked it.
I want to see these for myself. I'll probably look into it. But Ocarina of Time did get like decompiled for PC. I wonder if that version's kind of awesome at this point.
Oh, is it because of the decompile thing? Yeah, maybe. I'm willing to think that it's a bit of a. Some people are very in the weeds, right? And the small changes can get them. I get it. Oh, right. The next one is from Look at Dylan on a scale from 1 to how hype are you that the Switch 2 is out next week? Like I think we said, we're pretty hype, but there is a bit of a we gotta get through SGF kind of thing going on here.
Yeah, and that's the thing that sucks the most is we're going to get it right as SGF is starting to have the Switch 2 in our hands, so it's going to be like both things happening at the same time. It's going to be overload.
Do you think like if Keighley knew when the Switch was going to launch, he wouldn't have done it right on this day?
Yes. I think at home, in his heart, he wants to be at home playing the Switch 2 like the rest of us. So I think he's probably a little bit bummed, but, obviously these things get planned out a year ahead of time.
Dom Frez says, what's the next 99 game you want to see from Nintendo? I love a WarioWare 99 or Zelda 99 with a never-ending Zelda 1 dungeon crawler. WarioWare 99 sounds so freaking good. That has to be it.
I would love that. That would rule. I think we've talked about that before. I'm like trying to remember, like we had a good 99. Maybe we had
a whole thing about, I think we had a topic one time, what 99 game do you want to see?
Right.
Yeah. JD Camp says Pepsi Challenge at SGF this year. Sure. I am... who knows? Because there's lots of variables of people's tastes and things that impact that. I am very confident I could do the Pepsi challenge and identify Pepsi and Coke, especially Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, very easily.
Yeah, we've like threatened to do that a bunch of times, which I guess that is basically what the Pepsi challenge is, right? You're supposed to pick your favorite when you get to a blind taste test. So yeah, it's essentially what that is.
Yeah.
Dan's the one that says he swears he could not tell the difference.
Well, he says he couldn't tell the difference between Diet Coke and like normal Pepsi.
Right. Yes.
That's where he goes, which is wild, insane.
Right. Exactly. So I want to just see this done, and so yeah, you know what? Maybe that's what you can actually be in charge of, Mike. Getting the taste testing challenge set up for Dan, and you got to put tape on everything so you can't see the labels or whatever.
Well, but I want to do it too because I bet I would correctly
just get all the stuff, and we can have Nikki set it up.
I'll tell you what. I was just actually thinking about all of this. I was like, I got to make sure that there's enough soda at this thing. Oh, yeah. Everyone else is gonna be worried about beer. I'll take care of the soda. Don't worry, John Drake. I'll make sure you got your Diet Cokes. Next up is from Primworm. Are there any game collections or ports you want to see come out? Yeah, it's funny because like we were talking about Army Man. It's like it's weird that nobody even talks about remastering or doing a collection of all of those 30 Army Man games that they made at that time. There's like zero. There's like negative nostalgia for Army Man.
Yeah, it's like a black void. Yeah, you like look there and there's no one there at all. I would take. Sega's done some collections of some of these games. I just want a definitive collection of its like entire era of super scalar games, even if that's like in all the arcade ones specifically. Obviously, that's where most of it happened. But even if it took like a couple of collections to get it done, like Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, I just want to have all of those games in one place and not have to go get MAME started up so I can play them.
And we've gotten a lot of these in recent years. Yes. A lot of the Dream ones. I even got a Rocket Knight collection, so I've been doing pretty well. I'd like to see one of all those Tiny Toon games that were actually really good. Yeah,
that would be great.
I think that would be great. I'd like to see the Quintet trilogy from Super Nintendo, so Soul Blazer, Terra Nigma, and something of Illusion of Gaia. Illusion of Gaia, that's the third one. So that would be pretty good. Also, Mega Man Legends. Give me Mega Man Legends 1, 2, Misadventures of Tron Bonne.
Yeah,
I want that pretty badly. Johnny Boy says, 8 Dogs, any time capsule predictions on what's going to happen during the Switch 2 generation, game releases, successes, flops, acquisition, etc. I mean, it's going to be in a whole another 8 years, right? It's hard to, like the Switch 1 did come out in what kind of feels like a different time for gaming, huh?
You want to just make this the topic for next week, where we make long-term, like make a prediction 1 year out, make a prediction like 3
Yeah,
years
let me
out, and a
put it in
prediction like 7 years out or something like that.
I'm just gonna put it right there in the mailbag thing right now, so I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that'd be pretty good. It'll be interesting to see, like, just other console gaming and what the hell that looks like at this point next time. So yeah, why don't we do that? Good idea, Jeff.
Cool.
Wolf says, "Hey dogs, have you guys decided what the last game you play on Switch 1 will be? I think we're gonna make it a full circle moment and play the game that maybe buy the console, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I might even mod the game to add tripping and make it more fun." Wow, that's disgusting. Yeah, but like the night, maybe like, because we're gonna be waiting. When I'm at that launch at Best Buy, I bet we'll have Switches there, and I bet I'll probably play some Smash Brothers with my brothers, or maybe Mario Kart. Or maybe if it's just me, maybe I will nostalgically play some Mario Odyssey, which is probably still my favorite game that came out on the system.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit more of that Uncharted Waters, New Horizons that Mike was into. So that'll probably be the last game I play on. The Switch one's gonna be floating around my house because of the kids, so we'll see. But that, the last official one, if we're to answer the spirit of this question, it'll probably be that.
That's another NSO game that was like a great first playthrough, because I had no idea that was anything I would ever be interested in. It was super cool. Beefhammer says, "Evening, Mike. Virgin thinks about the Roman Empire at least once a week, Minotti." And Jeff, Chad thinks about how in 1993, John Carmack incorrectly recalled the 10th digit of pi for some code in the original Doom. And now 30 years later, this incorrect number for pi has now been found in over 2,000 GitHub projects due to them using part of the Doom code Grubb.
That's right.
I know it's wishful thinking and development doesn't work like that, but could we see Mina the Hollower come out soon for Switch 2? So another Mina the Hollower question. I feel like even if it does come out, it's more of a later this year thing and not a summer thing.
It's also one of those games that certainly just drops for Switch 1, and then they say, well, get it for your Switch 2. It's the Switch 1 version, but what's the difference? There is none. So Switch 2, I guess the fact that the Switch 2s exist will make a difference for games like this, because it's like more people are buying indie games. So yeah, I think maybe if they got to a point where they're like, we could time this for the Switch 2 and really see a benefit, it's possible. I think if that were the case, we would have heard about it, I think, at this point. So maybe Mike's right. It'll be later this year.
Input name here says, "What are the chances NSO GameCube will not have memory card support?" I guess I haven't thought about this, because obviously you can just make save states, but there should be some kind of virtual memory card thing. Some 64 games use memory card. Have any of those been on NSO? I assume there's some virtual memory card thing going on there, right? But gosh,
trying to think of a memory card game on the Switch.
Yeah, now I'm not sure if any of them are. Some of them must be.
This wouldn't be a problem, right? I mean, it's going to just be built into the emulator. So no, it'll be fine.
They'll figure something out. Michael Riley says, "What is the pace in which you expect GameCube Nintendo Classic updates? I get the feeling we already know the releases for the first 18 months, and that makes me sad." Yeah, that's like, even GBA was like that, honestly, where for a while there, like they talked about a lot of them when they first announced it. It took a while to get all of those. There were a few surprises peppered in, though.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I don't think it's going to be some great pace, but at least for the rest of the year, I bet they'll make sure we at least get like one a month. I hope so, something like that. But I don't have great expectations.
Yeah, same. I think it'll be once a month. Feels very ambitious, actually. So I would love
maybe.
that, but I doubt it.
Tuber says, "Jeff, when are you going to address the allegations that the supposed Zelda blowout and Metroid Prime bets were false flag leaks designed to protect your source inside the ISB intergalactic Sony bots? The Metroid Prime bet was Spellhouse and your hair was Anto Krieger, and you are Luthen. With that said, Metroid Prime 4, when?"
Man, I'll never tell. I gotta protect it to the very end. That's how it goes. And also, when I got my haircut, I did look a lot like Luthen after that. So yeah, maybe.
Evil Janice says, "If you could magically change Mike's mind on one of his fuddy-duddy stances, what would you change?"
That's tough, because I think most of Mike's fuddy-duddy stances are pretty defensible, because he's just like, I don't like this. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Why would I need you to like this? I don't know. Let me think about this. If one pops up, I'm going to play this card and I'll yell it out and I'll say, this is the one I would change.
I make him parry the sound. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mike's, or for me, if you could turn Jeff to the fuddy-duddy side, one thing for added support for you, what would it be? I think I would have him agree with me a bit more on Data Kojima, actually. I don't mind his stance, and it makes sense, and I get it. But I think it'd be funny if we
you
both
need
thought
me
like
on this
that.
one. I appreciate that. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was just
Need my help.
against Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a part where Dan was talking about that doll who takes a shower with a lady who controls the weather and cries tears that make people younger. And I'm like, this is just absolutely no different from Kingdom Hearts shit. The most egregious thing with Dan, well, there's a couple. There's two Dan moments that I thought that were too much for even Dan with weird video game stuff. One is the Dyson Boulder Gauge 3, him acting like that was like offensive for his to even look at. And the other was the Metaphor Fantasio thing when the game opened and asked, do you think fiction can impact reality? And he acted like that was the snootiest, dumbest thing he had ever heard. And this guy fucking praises Kojima. That was a bit much to take.
So yeah, these are the things we would change about Dan Riker to answer the question here. Yes, I agree.
Miracle says, let's say the big holiday isn't a new Mario. When the Switch 2 be fine with a enhanced/updated Switch game, Smash Ultimate comes to mind. Yeah, maybe, but like again, everybody's like, well, Pokemon ZA doesn't count as the big holiday game. And I'm like, it will.
It's like the biggest one, yeah, in a lot of ways.
It will. And there will be, Viral Warriors or Kirby Air Riders could happen around Metroid Prime could happen around the time. Yeah, like I think there is maybe there's one more Switch 2 game we don't know about. I don't.
It ain't no Mario. It's not a Mario.
It's no Mario for sure. Smash Ultimate. I don't really know what you even need from a quote-unquote enhanced Switch 2 version of Smash Ultimate. They're not going to add more characters at this point anymore because that'd be a whole to-do. I think Smash Ultimate is just going to kind of just play on Switch 2 with base improvements, if any. That game already runs pretty good. So I don't know. I'm not expecting much there.
Yeah, me neither. I think to answer the base question here, Ali Miracle, I think the Switch 2 will be fine this holiday, kind of no matter what, because a lot of people will still be just trying to get the thing, and when they do, Mario Kart will be waiting for them, Donkey Kong will be waiting for them, and I'm sure we'll have some idea of some other games that'll be coming down the pike at that point.
Nintendogs says, with the Switch 2 release, do you think EA will finally put the mainline Sims 4 game expansions on a Nintendo console? The Joy-Con mounts would make it the default console to play it on, in my mind. Does Sims 4 have like Xbox and PlayStation versions? It does. Okay, yes. Then yeah, why the heck not? There's a big, this is like just my experience. There's a big crossover between people who like Sims a lot and like things like Animal Crossing and have Switches because of that.
Yeah, I think the recent reintroduction of the My Sims games that EA did, they did like My Sims Cozy Bundle or whatever it was called, and it was a couple of like Wii My Sims games. They released those. I think it did pretty well according to EA, I think, and then I think that was them testing the waters for more stuff on Switch, but definitely Sims itself. And that is an audience on Switch that would, I think, be very down for Sims 4. So yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah, Moss4 says, do you think the reason the gaming discourse online has gotten worse lately is because of the three platforms stripping out the easy direct share functionality of Twitter and other social media from the consoles? And has that hurt the gaming discourse because it's no longer easy to share clips and screenshots?
I mean, I think that's like a small fraction of the problem, where it's like instead of these platforms being used to talk about and share stuff you enjoy about games, the exact opposite is rewarded. So, yeah, I mean, it goes back to that's just what gets attention, so people do it. And also, I think also people have found that this is a good way to sort of get people into whatever grift you're running. If it's a right-wing grift, video games and getting angry about video games along with someone else who's angry about video games, it's a good way to start getting them on the treadmill toward whatever you want them to be. So that's a big part of it.
Anonymous Juggalo says, hello. I kept meaning to share my story gathering the Juggalo story on Giant Bomb, but I kept forgetting / too lazy to email Giant Bombcast or call voicemail dump truck. Keep a long story short, I did have fun when I went with my brother and his friends back in 06 for the weekend. I went on the carny rides, saw Kevin Nash and Scott Hall beat up some jobbers, and there was a ton of drugs, Fago, and titties. 8 out of 10 would go again. I'll try to call voicemail dump truck to tell the story about how Shaggy, too dope, hit my car on the first night with a golf cart.
Yeah, I want to hear that story.
Fuck yeah. Sounds cool as fuck. Let's go, Grubb.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
I'm buying the ticket. I'm going.
They didn't specify what drugs. What if it's The bad ones.
Ooh, here's the thing: at the gathering, at the dark, what do they call it? The dark rodeo, the
Dark Carnival.
Dark Carnival. There's no
Dark
such thing as
rodeo.
the bad drugs. They're all good there.
Yeah, great. That's it for the mailbag. Why don't we take another break? We'll come back. We got some more super chats about anything we've been playing, and we'll wrap this baby up.
Fuck yeah!
Whoop whoop. Yeah. Just, you want to jump back into it?
We just back it back in, yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
Señor Policía. All right.
All right, Jeff, we're back anymore. Oh, what have you been playing? I should say. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
I've just been a few minutes here or there on Mother 3. I had another busy weekend, so didn't have much time for any games. And the kids are still using the Switch constantly to play Minecraft. So not much in the way of Nintendo. I've been playing. Well, I think Roadcraft probably will come to the Switch too, because those games have all been ported to the Switch so far. So I've been playing that. That'll probably be on Nintendo eventually. I've been enjoying that quite a bit, but I talked about it a bunch on the Bombcast. Don't need to reiterate too much again because it's not on Switch yet. But yeah, how about you, Mike?
There's a lot of Doom 2 this weekend. Basically played through all of that. Hell on earth, as they say. And it was, yeah, I've talked about it a few times too. But it's very good. And I think, the Doom 1+2 bundle there is pretty cheap. I bet it goes on sale and it's even cheaper. It was on sale not too long ago. And it has a bunch of other stuff. Like it has the 2 campaigns that did comprise Final Doom when that was a thing. As Sigil and Sigil 2, which were things made much later by John Romero. It's got like that campaign that was added to the Xbox Live Arcade release of Doom or Doom or something like that, right? So it's got all sorts of content there. And Doom is just kind of still an amazing feeling boomer shooter experience. It's a lot of ways it is still the best one. The Penguin 55 is right. I also like Doom 64 a lot, and that is a separate game, but that's also worth checking out. That was also done by Night Dive, Doom 64 rules. I really like the way the enemies look in that, because it's not just, it's sprites still, but they digitized like creatures that they made of like a clay or something. I don't know. They look better. They look really cool.
Doom 64 still, I said this last time we talked about it, one of the best looking N64 games.
Might be SGI stuff, like Donkey Kong styles. How they
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Doom 64. Yeah. All right. How about read the rest of these super chats then, Jeff?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go here. We didn't read that one. All right, so Doug Bowser writes in. Good evening, Jeffrey Grubb and Mitch Minotti of Nintendogs. Please stop talking about Mother 3. We have, let me make this line up so I can read it. We have no plans to release this on Switch 2. Thank you. All right, sorry, Doug. But
you should.
Listen, you can't tell you can't tell us what to do. You're not. It's not like you're the warden and we're in some kind of Nintendo jail, or is that exactly what it's like? Pokey Egg says, which Minotti relative works at the U.S. Treasury since they've confirmed to be killing pennies as of this week? That's pretty good.
Funny. That's funny.
A good joke. How you feel about the pennies going away? I guess they're just not minting new ones. You could still get pennies.
Yeah, I guess, so maybe we have enough pennies and that's okay. I think it's going to be a problem if we run out of pennies. Maybe we could just start making them again, though, if that happens, right?
Yeah.
No, brother, because inflation. You won't need pennies anymore. Everything's going to be so expensive. You have to buy used.
That's the more likely thing. Now, you could still spend the pennies you have. So if you have a lot of pennies, you're fine. It's not like that money's going away. Do you know it costs them 4 cents to make a penny?
Yeah, that's the thing, huh?
Yeah. Apparently, like, the nickel also is more, it's like 9 cents to make a pickle or some pickle to make a nickel. Man, I wish it was 9 cents to make a pickle. And then the dime, apparently they make money on when they mint a dime, which doesn't make any sense.
I guess I don't know. I wish it's one of those things that I could say I want people smarter than me to figure it out, but I don't have much faith that's what's actually happening. So I guess I'm just along for the ride in this whole penny thing, Jeff. We'll see where it goes.
The good news is, like most other countries that have had worst inflation in the United States, got rid of their penny equivalent a long time ago, and it was fine. Yeah. It was fine. Okay. Like everyone just gets used to it. All right, from Ricky B. Those Army Men games hit though. But to be fair, I was a child. Yeah, there's so much the game you get for your nephew who plays games and you don't know what they like.
Yeah, it's that or it's like Blockbuster slop.
Oh, of course,
for sure, right? Big Sarge's Heroes, come on.
Yeah, was there like an Army Men game that had a Blockbuster exclusive? It feels like one of those franchises.
It feels like the kind of game, like, that and Clay Fighters.
Clay Fighters and Army Men, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right, but I might not be correct. But I wish it was.
Yeah,
it should be
it
correct.
feels correct. Who knows if it actually is? Ecto Coolest says, you think the next Splatoon will have mouse controls? Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
It should. I mean, unless this is like one of those gimmicks that they drop really quick. Other people have been saying that a lot of games are going to just support USB mice too. Because I know some people are like, oh, holding a Joy-Con like that doesn't actually look great, or I've tried it and it's not great. But it seems like we should just be able to use other mice, and that sounds neat.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Rick Utig says, you are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss. Metaphor is fine.
Right. Yeah. It's just, it's the mindset. Because he's like, well, it's fun how this is dumb.
Well, no, he'll say, no, this could really happen. So that's because this is real. This is real people doing real stuff. And so, well,
this is real. Yeah. There's not.
I don't know.
Not a bad person. That makes it worse.
When he was a child, somebody told him about nanobots, and he believes nanobots are a real thing, and they can't they broke him forever. Now he believes nanobots are a real thing.
He thinks he's a nanomachine, son.
El Grug says, actual question for once, but are you guys able to stream the SGF/Microsoft presentations over in LA? Yes, we will be talking over those. We're getting it set up so we could do exactly that. Also, Turbo Sean for Game Mess Hall of Fame. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, for your birthday.
First inductee.
Yeah.
We have the other Game Mess Hall of Fame for games that we should do again at some point.
Yeah. Well, it's time. And then finally, Ricky B says, is Sean, SHAWN, the Jeff, GEOFF, of Sean's, SEANS? And Sean, I'm going to stop you there. No! Sean
That's
has
the other
right.
way around.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, I get the next spelling just like you do, Jeff.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I have a brother, Sean, SHAWN. So I'm very used to that. So no, this is the right Sean.
Well,
I have the right Jeff.
How am I still learning the Grubb family lore like 4+ years later?
I keep some things close to the chest.
Bucky Egg's right. What about SHAUN Sean? It's like Sean White.
Oh, like Sean the Sheep.
Oh, we take those guys. You know, like Sean over at Hang Time. You know, we're homies.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
The Sean W and the Sean single U, they're thick as thieves.
Because they both work. They both work.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Is the SEAN version like especially Gaelic or something?
Yes, I think so. I think that's exactly what it is.
It's probably, which I believe is the first. Like
right.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
all right.
Some guy went to Ellis Island and said Sean, and the person's like, I hear an essay.
That does it for the super chats. Mike, back to you.
Well, that just about does it for our wonderful show here. Again, I'm going to be here next week, Jeff, so if you can, I should still be able to do a show,
okay.
I believe.
We'll figure it out. I got to take a look at my calendar.
Wait a second. I might have to get in the... No, I don't have to get in line.
No, that'd be the day before.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, you're good.
So we'll figure that out. But then the next week, the Switch 2 will be out. That's why we are doing Game Us Decides this Thursday. Thursday after that, though, I think we will be traveling to SGF, so it might not happen that week. But then you're gonna have all sorts of content with us that weekend to make up for it. Don't worry, you'll be seeing us.
Sean, you want to run an episode with AJ if you guys could do that while we're gone in SGF?
Yeah, we'll figure some stuff out. Yeah, maybe that can work.
Okay, we'll see. No promises, everybody. We'll get that figured out. Anything else, Mike?
Blade Club tomorrow. Voice Book Dump Truck Thursday. Giantbomb.com/join if you haven't looked yet and want to support us over there. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Beat it.
Oh, you beat it.
Come on, go cruising. Let's go cruising. Let's go cruising. Let's go cruising. It's a blast. Come on, let's go cruising.
That's some good fisting.
I have to poop.
Like a plate of spaghetti or something.